Welcome to this deep dive. We've got some really interesting material you flagged about anchor monitoring systems.
That's right.
Specifically looking at charter yachts, particularly in the Bahamas and the Caribbean.
Right.
Those kinds of demanding waters.
Exactly. And the challenges there are pretty unique.
So our goal here is to unpack this system called AnchorGuardian, see what it's about, what it really means for operators like you.
Yeah, because, traditional anchoring,
Yeah.
it's often a bit of a educated guesswork, isn't it?
Totally. Drop the hook, hope for the best.
Pretty much. You might take a visual bearing, but in places like the Bahamas or the Caribbean, with currents, different seabeds, crowded spots, it can be stressful.
Right. Always wondering, am I still where I think I am?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where this AnchorGuardian system seems to step in. It's positioned as like a totally different approach.
Yeah, shifting from just reacting if something goes wrong to actively preventing it, being proactive.
Okay, let's dig into that. The material you shared really stresses that a good anchor setup isn't just about the anchor itself.
No, definitely not. It's the whole system. The anchor is key, obviously, needs high holding power.
Right.
But then you need top quality, marine-grade shackles, swivels. Every connection point matters.
Makes sense.
And the chain and rope. Getting that ratio right for the depth and conditions is crucial. Plus a windlass that can actually handle the load without straining.
And AnchorGuardian fits into this complete system picture, adding the real-time monitoring part.
Exactly, because all those physical components, they get seriously tested by high winds, shifting tides, those tight anchorages we mentioned.
And the source connects this reliability directly to, well, two big things for charter operators, right? Guest comfort and vessel safety.
Absolutely critical. Think about anchoring near coral. You cannot afford to drag there.
Oh, definitely not.
Or sandy bottoms. Some hold great, others not so much. And in those busy mooring fields, even a little drag can cause big problems fast.
So it's about keeping guests happy and relaxed, but also just fundamental safety of the yacht.
Okay, so how does AnchorGuardian do this? It mentions sensor fusion. Sounds fancy.
It does sound a bit techy, but the concept is pretty smart. Sensor fusion basically means it doesn't rely on just one single source of information, like only GPS.
Okay.
It takes data from multiple onboard sensors, GPS, maybe inertial sensors, others, and uses clever algorithms to combine them.
So it cross-references.
It it blends the data intelligently, and that's how it gets down to that claimed sub-meter accuracy. Much, much more precise than just looking at your chart plotter's GPS position.
Sub-meter. Yeah. That is really precise for an anchor. So the capabilities listed, real-time anchor tracking, obviously.
Yep, you see exactly where the anchor is, constantly updated, and that sensor fusion makes the tracking really reliable. If one sensor has a momentary glitch, the others compensate, you know.
Keeps it accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, then predictive analytics, that sounds proactive, like it sees trouble coming. That's the idea. It's not just showing you the anchor's current spot. It's analyzing tiny movements, changes in forces, things you wouldn't notice yourself. And it can detect the very early signs that the anchor might start dragging, often way before it becomes a noticeable problem.
So it gives the crew a heads up, more time to react.
Exactly. Crucial extra time. Maybe you just need a small engine bump to reset, or maybe you decide to re-anchor, but you do it before you drift close to danger.
That proactive piece sounds like a huge safety improvement. What about integration? Does it work with existing gear?
Yes, seamless integration is mentioned. It's designed to connect with the navigation systems and electronic charts most yachts already use.
So you see the anchor position right on your chart display.
Precisely. Overlaid on your chart, showing its position relative to your boat, other boats, hazards like reefs or shallows, everything in one place.
Nice. And it mentions a user-friendly interface. Always good news with new tech.
Definitely. You need to see the critical info quickly and intuitively, not fumble with complicated menus during a blow. So the overall benefit, according to the source, is just enhanced safety, less risk of accidents, less risk of anchor damage, preventing issues before they escalate.
Okay, so talking about those proactive benefits.
Yeah.
The material says this precise data leads to a real drop in anchor drag incidents.
That's the core claim. Instead of the anchor alarm going off when you've already moved, say, 50 feet.
Which might already be too late.
Right. You get these earlier, subtler warnings from AnchorGuardian. It lets the crew act promptly based on actual data, not just a guess. Improves overall yacht safety significantly.
Let's get specific. What does it show you when you're actually laying the anchor?
Okay, so as it's going down, it tracks the anchor's descent, shows the depth, and monitors the scope, how much chain and rope you've paid out. And crucially, it gives you an immediate alert the second the anchor hits the seabed.
Oh, that's useful. No more guessing if it's down.
Exactly. And then it keeps monitoring its position accurately as it digs in and sets. Really reassuring, especially if the bottom is uncertain.
Okay, and then during anchor watch, overnight, for example.
That's where the early drag detection is key. It's constantly watching the anchor's velocity. Is it moving? How fast? And the forces on it.
Right.
And this data is shown in real time on your electronic chart. You see your boat. You see the anchor icon precisely located. If that anchor starts to move outside a safe zone you've set, bang, you get an alert.
Like a dedicated anchor watch person who never blinks.
Pretty much, yeah. Focus just on the anchor.
And lifting the anchor. Time to move on.
It gives you clear notifications for the key stages. It tells you when the anchor breaks free from the bottom, away.
Okay.
Then when you can see it at the surface, in sight. And finally, confirmation that it's properly secured back in its stowed position. Covers the whole cycle.
Got it. Now let's bring it back specifically to the Bahamas and Caribbean context you mentioned. The source really emphasizes the unique challenges there.
It really does. You've got those beautiful but very shallow turquoise waters.
Yeah.
You need extreme precision to avoid hitting coral heads.
Absolutely. Can't risk that.
Then you have currents that can be surprisingly strong and switch direction, putting a lot of load on the gear. And just the sheer popularity means anchorages get packed.
Yeah, finding a spot can be tricky, and you're often close to neighbors.
Exactly. So in those specific conditions, the source suggests AnchorGuardian isn't just a nice-to-have gadget. It's framed more like a necessity for operating safely and responsibly.
A fundamental tool for those waters?
Kinda, yeah. Because that continuous, accurate monitoring boosts your operational efficiency. You can focus more on guests if you're not constantly worrying about the anchor.
Right.
And it directly improves basic onboard anchor safety. It all leads to a smoother, less stressful experience for guests and crew.
The material specifically mentions safety and crowded anchorages again. How does the precise placement help there?
Well, if you know exactly where your anchor is, down to less than a meter, you can place it much more strategically relative to other boats. You can maximize your swinging room and minimize the chance of, bumping into someone or getting anchor chains tangled.
Avoiding the dreaded anchor chain ballet.
Exactly. It allows for much safer, more considerate anchoring when space is tight.
And for the guests, especially those maybe less experienced with boating, that extra layer of security must make a big difference to their peace of mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Knowing the yacht has this advanced system, especially if the weather kicks up or you're in an unfamiliar spot, lets them relax and enjoy the amazing surroundings without that nagging anchor worry.
The source also loops back to selecting the right gear, overall quality shackles, the right anchor for the boat and conditions.
Yeah, it reiterates that AnchorGuardian is part of a system.
Yeah.
You still need good quality hardware.
But it integrates with different types.
Yes. It's designed to work with a wide variety of anchors and shackles. So it enhances the system you likely already have, making it smarter rather than requiring a total refit.
That's good to know. And installation, training.
The source says installation is generally straightforward, and it doesn't need extensive specialized training for the crew to use it effectively. Ease of use is a big plus.
Always is.
And there's even a quote from a Captain D. Carr saying it provides essential insights beyond traditional gear, significantly boosting safety. That kind of real-world feedback adds weight.
Right, hearing from someone actually using it. Okay, let's quickly run through those FAQs the material covered. Compatibility, it works with most anchors and kits.
Yes, confirms broad compatibility. You likely don't need to change your existing anchor hardware.
User-friendly, minimal training needed.
Check. Designed to be intuitive.
Sub-meter accuracy for precise decisions.
Confirmed again. Key for tight spots.
Proactive alerts for dragging.
Yes, that's a core function. Early warning.
Helps minimize collision risk in crowded areas.
Definitely, through precise placement and awareness.
And suitable for large yachts, too, not just smaller boats.
Absolutely. Enhances safety across different vessel sizes.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the big takeaway seems to be that AnchorGuardian offers a pretty major step forward in monitoring. That precise, proactive management looks especially valuable for charters in busy, tricky areas like the Bahamas and Caribbean.
That sums it up perfectly. The real-time data, the predictive alerts, it offers a level of confidence and safety that The old ways just can't match.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? How would having that kind of pinpoint anchor data change how you choose where to anchor or how you manage safety when things get busy or the weather turns? Definitely something to consider.
Indeed. That level of insight could really empower more confident decisions, leading to, well, safer and probably more enjoyable cruising for everyone involved.